Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and I'm excited to be back right here. This is Salon's blog. It is all about Chelsea. Yes, what are we to expect? Tomorrow is going to be Fulham versus Chelsea. It's an away game. Fulham versus Chelsea. What is happening so far? Are we ready to shake our disappointment off and continue the journey? Ladies and gentlemen, we have no choice. Chelsea have no choice than to shake itself off all the disappointment over the past week and see what we can get out of the rest of the 8 games remaining in this season. Yes, both the Conference League and the Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, as it is right now, you see, Maresca rested few players in anticipation of tomorrow's game. Enzo Maresca rested Enzo Fernandez. Yes. He also rested Moise Caicedo, Levi Colwill. Noni Madueke was rested somehow, but he came on in the second half. Pedro Neto was equally rested. He also came on later part of the game. But you see, with these players given a rest, enough rest, would they come in and bring a new energy into the squad that will be facing Fulham tomorrow? For me, it is my expectation that Caicedo, yes, he's gotten enough rest. Enzo Fernandez, enough rest. They both didn't play any part of the game on Thursday night in the Conference League. So I believe that they should be fresh enough to start the game against Fulham. Noni Madueke and Pedro, equally, I will expect both. I will expect Sancho to take a rest on Sunday, which is tomorrow. Sancho could be rested, and Pedro Neto could start from that left flank, whilst Noni Madueke from the right flank of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, so we should be ready for tomorrow's game. With these 4 players in a starting 11, we should be able to secure a good point. Let me not say 3 points. This time around, it's dangerous to put your trust and your hope on this Chelsea squad. And listen, come to think of this whole thing. Yesterday, Maresca was speaking at the press conference regarding the game, the upcoming game. And he said a few things. But before I go to that, you see, in my other videos, I issued a statement that Maresca must go. But let me point out this. Not that I have any particular coach in mind that if Maresca is sacked today, that coach should replace Chelsea, as the new head coach of Chelsea. But one thing I do know is that whenever a coach is sacked, there's always a reaction from players. It's almost like in every team. Whenever a coach is sacked, there's always a reaction by the players. They end up performing, and that can give us the momentum to finish the season hard. Right now, to be honest with you, we need every single 3 points. Every single game must be a win. We cannot afford any more sleep. Every single game must be a win for Chelsea from tomorrow. I'm happy when Maresca himself said every single game is a final. But before I get to what he said, listen, you see, I have been asked by few people a lot about who I would want to replace Maresca should he be sacked. My honest answer right now is that I don't have any name in mind. If Maresca is sacked, there is absolutely no point hiring a manager who is going to take a similar amount of time to implement his ideas in terms of a year or 2 years. Why? The system is said that even with the fans, we might not have the patience again for another rebuild. Unless things change from the top. Unless things change from the top. That simply means that the sporting directors have to go first. Then we can think of sacking Enzo Maresca. And if indeed Maresca has to go, who is to replace him? Dear friends, listen to me. The best way out, the best route for Chelsea, if Maresca is indeed to be sacked, will be to hire a manager or a coach based on character and mentality. Based on character and mentality, to try to appease the fans or the support base of Chelsea and hope that we can buy into his ideas. That will be the only time that Chelsea fans will be willing to accept. Means that the personality of the coach will matter, the mentality of the coach will matter, the character of the coach will matter. And how many of those coaches can you think of? Can you think afar? And dear friends, if Maresca is to go, then Chelsea have to hire a masterclass coach with personality, with character, with mentality. Then only Chelsea fans will be willing to be patient for the rebuild. Dear friends, it is your breakfast Saturday morning. I will not take much time, but quickly, let's go to a few things that Maresca has said in his presser yesterday regarding tomorrow's game, and I'll be out of this place. Maresca speaking at the press conference, he was asked questions about Reece James' comment that he made after the game. And to be honest, the responses Maresca gave regarding Reece James is like taking a dig on him. Maresca, during the season, he said, we didn't have time to go for leaders. We didn't have time to go for leaders during the season. He's talking about during the winter transfer window. Chelsea never had time to go for leaders to bring on board. Now, he says, so in this moment, the ones that we have, okay, which one they can become a leader, or they can improve. Because at the end, if you are not a leader, you cannot become suddenly a leader. But you can improve a little bit. You know who he's talking about? Do you remember earlier this season? He went after Reece James. He went public, not even by telling him, he went public by saying Reece James doesn't have the leadership qualities. Along the line, he said, oh, Reece James has improved. He's taking another punch through to Reece James, because Reece James went public after the game that we took a step back instead of progress. So he decided to attack the personality of Reece James again. This is a very huge dig at Reece James' personality. You see, this guy, the truth is that he's so funny. Maresca is so funny. I knew Maresca was actually clueless after telling Cowell. After telling us that Cowell was one of his leaders. I knew that he was clueless. The moment he said to us that Levi Cowell was one of his leaders, I knew that he was clueless of what he's doing. Now, let me say this. In a team like Chelsea, you need a lot of leaders. Different type of leaders. Right? And importantly, different characters in a team. Reece James is more of Frank Lampard's kind of a leader. Reece James is more of Frank Lampard's style or character of a leader. Frank Lampard. Yes. He's a bit quiet or quieter than usual. But he speaks on a field of play. With his character on the field. It's like, I'm leading you by example. I'm playing well, play well. He doesn't talk. What we lack is the vocal type of leadership. Like John Terry or Rodiger. That is what Chelsea lack right now. John Terry style or Rodiger style. Those characters that speaks on the pitch. That commands on the pitch of play. That is what Chelsea lack. That does not mean that Reece James is a bad leader. No. There are different types of leadership. Maresca says that he's pleased to have rested some of the players. Yes, we are going to go into the game again tomorrow. We'll see what's going to happen. Now, listen. He said, I do not have any doubt about what we are doing. In the way we are doing, we had some difficult moments, but this just makes us stronger for the future. It's a learning process for me. We have 8 games to go, and they are all finals for us. We have 8 games to go, and they are all finals for us. This is coming from Enzo Maresca. He continued. You see, what is it? Where is it? Okay, let me just leave that for the next episode. Because here, I just wanted to mention the same players again that he mentioned. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just point out this, before I let you guys go. This guy, our head coach, Enzo Maresca, has successfully somehow convinced us, Chelsea fans, that the entire Chelsea fan base, or he has somehow convinced the entire Chelsea fan base that he doesn't have good enough players, not to talk about even leadership or leaders in the squad. Yes, he has somehow convinced Chelsea fan base. Now most fans are now believing that, oh, the squad is not good enough. But hey guys, this is the squad that before Christmas, this is a squad that was second on the league table. In which team will you have Cole Palmer, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, and you say you don't have good quality? In which team? But he successfully convinced the fan base. Many are believing that, oh, the squad is not good enough. Listen, we have even in-depth quality on the bench. Take away our first 11. Noni Madueke, Jackson, Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Jadon Sancho, Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo. In defense, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Levi Cowell, Michael Krella. That's first 11. Maybe Sanchez, let's just say Sanchez as first 11. And look at the rest of the players on the bench. Christopher Nkunku on the bench. Yes. Jadon Sancho on the bench. Or maybe Pedro Neto. Yeah, Jadon Sancho on the bench. Christopher Nkunku on the bench. Dewsbury Hall is on the bench. Tosin is on the bench. Amogu is on the bench. Just name them. Then with the young guys coming up, Josh Achampong is on the bench. Tariq George is on the bench. I mean, what else? I understand Chelsea need certain qualities in addition, but that does not make us a bad team as of now. We are not. We need a striker. Yes, Jackson is out of form. I agree. We need a striker, either a backup. I mean, right now, I need someone that can be ahead of Jackson. I need a striker that can be ahead of Jackson, that can hit the ground running and get us goals. I'm just sorry to announce to you that as things are, I'm not too sure whether Victor Osimhen will make it to Chelsea or not. Very, very unlikely that he's not going to come to Chelsea. Guys, it is your breakfast. Let me end it here. I shall be back in the next hours for more exclusives and explosives. See you when you see me. Shalom and peace.